Hey guys, Brenden here, Stonewall Outdoor Supply. Got kind of a different video for you today. What we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about belt kit. So kind of the chapters we're going to go through today is what is belt kit? Why might you choose belt kit as opposed to other, let's say, more traditional styles of nylon gear, such as a plate carrier or a standalone chest rig and maybe like a ruck? My particular belt kit and why I've set it up the way that I have, and then how can you go get belt kit and be relatively budget conscious about it. Obviously, in the gear world, there's everything from really, really cheap, I wouldn't trust my life to it at all type gear, and then there's, the Gucciest of the Gucci. You can think of companies like Cry for Spiritus Systems, Faro Concepts, really expensive gear, and that might be worth it for you. But this is going to kind of go over kind of that more middle of the road where I think a lot of people lie. It's, the B tier, not the Gucciest of the Gucci. Definitely good enough, though, for civilian, serious application. One other thing I'd like to add in here is that this is not supposed to tell you that you absolutely need to go spend your hard-earned money on belt kit. Belt kit is what I would consider to be one tool in the toolbox of various pieces of nylon equipment you should already own. If you don't own belt kit, which a lot of people don't, it's kind of seeing a resurgence right now, that's totally fine. This will hopefully give you a jumping off point to go into that if you decide to do so. Just like with every piece of equipment, whether it's a rifle, a handgun, a piece of nylon, whatever, what you might carry on your person, even during your day-to-day. Different strokes for different folks, different pros and cons. So just want to preface that this is not meant to shill that you need to go out and spend your money. It's just something to get you thinking that maybe this is something you want to look at, or maybe you decide this is like totally useless for you and you're just watching this because it's entertaining. All right, so first chapter, what is belt kit? So belt kit is the idea that you need to carry more than what a standard chest rig can carry, but not as much stuff as what a rucksack would carry. Kind of fits right nicely in between those two, which in my opinion, for a lot of what the civilian Minuteman, if you will, would potentially be doing in a unfortunate situation. So belt kit generally consists of some kind of harness system. The one that a lot of people are going to be familiar with is the Russian Smersh rig. Smersh was kind of, the way you can look at it is Smersh was the first popularized belt kit system that saw widespread combat use. Now, the United States has run belt kit. Some of the Alice stuff was belt kit. The British have run various styles of belt kit, and I know I'm missing other militaries in there, but belt kit has been used by tons, and I mean tons, of top-tier military forces for decades for their troops to carry, more than a chest rig, less than a rucksack. You're primarily going to see kind of a harness system here. So on mine, I'll kind of scoop this over. On mine, you have these two big shoulder straps, and then you have this waist section that goes around your waist. So this allows you to kind of spread this weight out a little bit more on your hips and less on your shoulders, which is awesome because I don't know about you, but my shoulders get really tired after carrying a backpack for a long period of time. It's relatively uncomfortable. Your waist is, in my opinion, a significantly better place to put weight distribution. It's why a lot of packs have kidney straps. All right, second chapter, this will be pretty brief, and I've already kind of touched on it, but why might you choose belt kit over other gear? So I think the two main contenders that belt kit kind of goes against are plate carriers and chest rig plus rucksack. So chest rig plus rucksack is like the de facto current kit setup if you don't need to worry about armor. So if armor is not a consideration and you're going to be hiking long distances, chest rig plus rucksack is what pretty much everyone, I would say, especially in the military, is running. Pros of chest rig plus rucksack: you can easily ditch the majority of your weight at a, whatever you want to call it, your camp, your forward operating base, whatever. You can ditch your rucksack with all your sustainment gear in it, your tent, your bivvy, your sleeping bag, all your food, whatever. You can ditch that and then just have your combat loadout, or whatever your combat loadout consists of on your chest rig. That's great. The downside to that is if you get separated from your bag, all of your sustainment gear is in your bag. Not ideal. The other thing that this kind of competes with is a plate carrier. Most people are running a plate carrier. I think it's in frame kind of back there. But most people are running a plate carrier. Not super slick, not super duper kitted out. The downside to a plate carrier is obviously it weighs a lot because of the armor. So belt kit is going to suck more in an urban environment where you're actually worried about taking rounds. So if generally how the thought process for me works is if you need armor, run a plate carrier. If you don't need armor, Then you can choose between belt kit and a traditional chest rig and rucksack. Then the next pairing off of that is, okay, how far am I going to be walking and how long do I expect to be gone? In my opinion, belt kit shines in that 48 to 72 hour range. You can still fight in all of this. You can still run in all of this. It does not weigh as much as a rucksack, and you do not have to leave anything behind. That is the benefit to belt kit. A rucksack is too heavy and too large to fight it most of the time. You're gonna have to ditch it and then go fight. That, in my opinion, is a big deal breaker, and I'll get into that later as to why I think belt kit, specifically for the civilian, prepared citizen, Minuteman, whatever you'd like to call it, that's why this shines. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so we're gonna get a little bit into now specifically my belt kit as I have it set up here. So the first thing that I'd like to say is this is a mix between surplus gear and new gear. I think that's a really smart way of going about, not spending an obscene amount of money on equipment, but still getting really good stuff that has been tried and tested. So the first piece you see here, and this is kind of the heart of the whole system, is the harness itself. This is really important because you want one that's going to fit well to your body, that's made well, that's obviously going to be able to hold this style of weight and things like that. So this is an Eagle H harness. Cool part about these, they're everywhere and they're not expensive. Depending on condition, you can find these anywhere from like 50 to 100 bucks on eBay, TaxSwap, like if you're on Telegram and any of the gear exchanges, anything like that. So they're super duper common. They're in this kind of coyote. Most of them are in this coyote color. I think there are some that are made in other colors, but coyote is the one you see 9 times out of 10. So these are great. They're super common. Again, they have a big drag handle here at the top, which is really awesome. So yeah, that's what the start is. So I'm going to unbuckle this a little bit and I'll get this more centered in the frame. So you have padding all in here. They're pads, but they're also technically considered some kind of flotation device. I don't know if I would float in this, but primarily it's for padding. So you have 4 of these panels is how I have mine set up. There is a 5th panel that goes right back here. I've taken that out because I'm a relatively small dude. I generally wear 32-inch pants. So this is set up for me wearing it over top of just like a couple layers, and with some quick adjust straps over here, I can tighten this down and get it really cinched down to my body. So that's the harness system. It's the Eagle H harness. It has the tag right up here. But yeah, so yeah, eagleindustries.com. I was trying to read if there was a color code on it. But yeah, this is definitely coyote. So, all right, we're going to kind of start over here on the left side. So the left side, that's primarily for me. I'm a right-handed shooter. So this is where I'm going to keep a lot of my stuff that I need to grab quickly. So right up here, I have a spud pouch. This is not a real spud pouch. But spud pouch, I have it. It is currently empty. I can stuff anything in here. Radio, compass, water bottle, whatever. Attached to that, I have some pace beads. This is a product that we'll soon be offering at Stonewall. But just basic ways of keeping track of how far you have walked when you're doing land navigation. Keep in mind, this is meant to be a sustainment tile piece of gear that you use out in, in the woods. So having the ability to keep track of how far you've walked and in what direction is vital. Right up here at the front, I have a tourniquet attached. This is super cool. It is attached with this little piece of tigris right here, if you can see this. I know everyone's going to freak out. Tigris, it's going to get me killed in the streets because it glows under night vision. This is from a really cool company called Insects Manufacturing. They sent this to me, full disclosure, it was like $15, but they sent it to me to try it out. I really like it. It allows you to attach a lightweight piece of gear to Molly anywhere in your kit. So I'll make sure to tag them or link their website or something like that. Right up here, I have another knockoff pouch, but this is a Spiritus Mutant pouch. So this holds the majority of my ammunition. So 5 mags on the internal component and 2 mags out here on the left side. So quick access, you pull this bungee cord down and obviously swing, you can get your magazine really quick. So that's great. So 7 magazines in one pouch. Most chest rigs hold 8. So I got 7 right here, just in the first pouch. So for sustained, long-term fighting, that's really cool. All right, back here, I got a large GP pouch. Jammed up in here is my Becker BK7 knife. I really like this knife because it kind of bridges the gap between a hatchet and a normal size knife. Most knives are kind of like 5 inches. This is a 7-inch knife. I have some upgraded micarta scales on here, but I like to carry that because, again, you're out in the field. This is a 42, 72-hour type rig, so you're out there for a prolonged period of time. If you need to build a shelter, if you need to build some kind of fortification or emplacement, this is going to allow you to limb down some trees, build a campfire, set up a shelter stuff like that, a little bit easier than your little foldy pocket knife or something like that, and not as large as a hatchet. Yes, you could attach a hatchet or something to the side. That's all considerations for you. This pouch here, this is kind of my goodies pouch, my quick access stuff. I got a compass in here. I got some granola bars because snacks are important. I have a headlamp for when it gets dark. I've got my map set here with my protractor as well as a right in the range jammed in there, which is super useful. I've got my little baggie full of tools, oil, Loctite, things like that. I have a multi-tool, a bag of Ranger bands and rubber bands, a mosquito net for on my head, a Bic lighter with some duct tape around it, a bottle of iodine tablets, and then also I have an organizer in here that's holding various pens. So I have a paint pen, I have a standard kind of Pilot G2, I've got some gun butter in here, a couple Sharpies, and a fire starting kit. So this is supposed to be my quick access equipment, stuff I can get to without having to take this harness system off or ask a buddy to grab stuff for me. So that's what this all is for. Quick access, lightweight, etc. Jam all this back in here. I don't really have a system for how I lay this all in here, except the compass and the granola bars usually go at the top, because if I'm walking, I need to be able to get to all of those. So put those in there like that. Cool. So then we're going to spin this around. So on my right side, I have things set up just a little bit differently. So first of all, I have an S carabiner right here holding my outdoor research gloves. I can't remember what these model number is called. These are so far, they're really great. I've only had them about a month, but they have a leather palm. They have some grip texture on here. Grantham uses these, if that means anything to you. Then I have a Nalgene pouch right here, quick access, water bottle. Super great, right up at the front, easy to grab. This pouch right here is generally empty, but in it right now, I have my forearm map holder. So this can hold a map as well as a couple pens, dope card. If you have, if you're using comms, if you use any kind of encryption, you can keep an encryption key on this, anything like that. So I have that. I just stuffed it in there just so I didn't lose it. I usually leave this, again, as an open pouch, kind of similar to my Spud one. I throw a water bottle in here. Maps, extra radio, whatever I need, cell phone, whatever, anything like that. Like if I have a battery bank, I'll put that in here. Anything having to do with like my camera gear, I can put that in there as well. Back here, I have another GP pouch. So the layout is identical. This one is my IFAK. So this has the majority of my medical equipment in it. It's got another tourniquet in here. I have a IFAK all sealed up. I have some bug spray, and I have about 6 chem lights in there. So that's pretty straightforward. And then I have a pair of gloves bound up in a little Ziploc bag, rubber banded all tight together. One thing I need to do is I need to mark this somehow in red so people know that. All right, this is the cool part. This is what separates a belt kit from a chest rig, is this back panel. So on the Eagle Industries harness, you kind of have this mesh system right here. There is some MOLLE up here. It's kind of hard to see, but right here, I have another Coyote sleeve. It's from Eagle, again, so surplus, relatively inexpensive, 20 to 30 bucks for one of these. It is insulated, and I have a hydration bladder in it. So I have the hydration tube run out the left side. So that's another 3 liters of water. So if you're keeping track, I have 3 liters in the hydration bladder, and I have another liter probably in my Nalgene. I have 4 liters of water on me already, and I haven't even got to these pouches back here. So that's super awesome. So on the back panel then, I have 2 GP pouches up here, and I have a Nixie Works butt pack down here. So this GP pouch is totally empty. I have nothing in there. Again, leave space in your gear for you to add things, whatever that might be. In here is semi-quick access for stuff that can be accessed by a teammate. All my batteries, all sorts of various batteries. This is something, Liquid IV, I've got emergency in here as well as some like Crystal Light with caffeine in it. So things that I can just add to water to give me a little bit of going, especially if I start to feel like I'm getting sick. Pop one of those vitamin C's, throw them right in your mouth. These are the ones that don't need water. So that's that. I have a roll of electrical tape, and then I have my boo-boo kit. And then I have a splint. So I have a SAM splint, and then my boo-boo kit. So Benadryl, ibuprofen, acetaminophen, some really basic drugs, antibiotic cream, liquid Benadryl for putting on bug bites, and some bandages. That goes in there. Electrical tape, as I said previously, batteries, and then drink mix type stuff. So that all goes in that one. Now, at the bottom here is the Nixie Works butt pack. So Nixie Works, really cool guy. If you don't follow him on Instagram, again, I'll link him. But he makes this really awesome new take on the Smirsh butt pack. So on the sides here, it has these elastic pockets. Those can hold a 2-quart USGI canteen. 2-quart USGI canteen. It can slot right in here. I can get it. So you can tighten this all down. You fill this with water, tighten that. You can put one there and one there. So what you're seeing there's a lot of water built into this. I drink a lot of water. You'll also be combat ineffective in like 12 to 24 hours if you're not drinking water. And if you live where I live, which I live in the South, it gets really hot here. So water is really important. So I'll pop open this butt pack. It's got some buckles back here, as well as you can pull this open. You have a roll top, kind of like a dry bag. Undo this, and this is kind of my sleep stuff, if you will. First thing, we got an MRE. We have a second MRE. We have various fire starting, water purification, and shelter building equipment in this. So we got iodine tablets, a lighter, some wire, paracord, a spork, some stuff like that. Then we have military issue e-tool. I believe that one's from Gerber, if I recall correctly. I have a small dry sack. Not great, but it has an extra pair of socks and a t-shirt in there. And then I have my hammock to keep me nice and dry, or nice and off the ground. I have that. And then in this, if I recall correctly, this is additional shelter building equipment. Yeah, so this has a lot of paracord in it. So again, another dry bag. So that's everything that fits in the butt pack. And I even have a jacket that rolls up really small. That's like a level 3 style, or not level 3, a 3-layer waterproof jacket. It's really small that I can put in here. And that's from Revolution Race. So as you can see, I have 2 meals. I could probably even pare this down. I have an e-tool, I have a hammock, I have extra clothes, I have water purification and shelter building equipment there, and then not to mention everything else on here. So that's my belt kit. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them down in the comments. This has been a piece of gear I've been testing for the past couple of months. There's also some other people out there who have been running belt kit on Instagram and stuff like that if you've seen them. So if this interests you, if this is something you think would work for your style of environment and what you plan to do, I think it's definitely something, worth taking a look at. So I won't get too much into the philosophy. That's obviously, your kind of decision, but I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you found this interesting and there's something of value in this. And if so, please drop a like, subscribe. If you have any questions, obviously drop them in the comments. We'll have a lot more content coming out here on Stonewall Outdoor Supply. Awesome. Thanks, guys. See you on the next one.